Why did I plan my living daughter's funeral? Ella was only 8 when the doctor told me the chemo wasn't working anymore. I remember sitting in that sterile room, watching my baby girl swing her feet from the exam table, completely unaware that her mom was about to lose her mind. The doctor kept talking about experimental treatments and stem cell transplants, but all I heard was numbers. $60,000 for the procedure, another $40,000 for recovery, money I didn't have. I was already working 2 jobs just to keep up with the bills. Night shifts at the diner after my day job at the insurance office. I'd sold my car, my jewelry, even my grandmother's wedding ring, maxed out every credit card, borrowed from everyone who'd still answer my calls. My sister stopped talking to me after I asked for another loan. My parents were on a fixed income and had already given everything they could. That night, I sat at my kitchen table surrounded by medical bills and rejection letters from assistance programs. Ella was asleep in her room, bald head tucked under the princess blanket she refused to let me wash. I opened my laptop and typed something I never thought I would: how to pay for your child's cancer treatment when you're broke. Most of the results were the usual stuff: fundraising websites, charity organizations with waiting lists longer than Ella had time for. But then I found this forum post from a mom in Ohio. She talked about cashing out her son's funeral insurance policy to pay for his treatments. Funeral insurance. Not life insurance, but prepaid funeral coverage. At first I thought it was sick. Wrong. Who buys funeral insurance for their living child? But I kept reading. Apparently, if your child gets classified as end-of-life stage, some funeral plans can be activated early. The money gets redirected to medical expenses or final arrangements. It's legal, just dark as hell. I spent 3 days researching this. Called insurance companies pretending I was just asking general questions. Most hung up or gave me the runaround. But this one agent, Janet, she explained the whole process. If I could get the right medical documentation saying Ella was terminal, I could take out a policy and activate it within 30 days. The hardest part was walking into that funeral home, Miller & Sons on 5th Street. The funeral director, Mr. Miller, was this soft-spoken man in his 60s who probably thought I was insane. I told him I needed to pre-plan arrangements for my daughter. He asked if she was sick, and I just nodded. He didn't ask her age. I sat in his office picking out everything: white casket with pink roses, headstone with angels, the songs she liked from Disney movies, a service date 6 months out, hoping to God I'd never need it. Mr. Miller's hands shook a little when I gave him Ella's full name for the paperwork. He kept asking if I was sure about the timeline. The policy cost $3,000 up front, but it covered $25,000 in arrangements. With all the hospital letters and Ella's medical classification, I was able to activate it 2 weeks later. Janet walked me through redirecting the funds to the treatment center. It wasn't enough to cover everything, but it bought us time. Ella got her transplant. The procedure went better than expected, and her body accepted the new cells like they'd been waiting for them. A month later, some nonprofit called Hope for Kids heard about our story through the hospital social worker. They covered the remaining costs and set up a fund for her ongoing care. 6 months after that meeting in the funeral home, Ella was in remission. Her hair started growing back, thick and curly like it used to be. She went back to school, made new friends, started playing soccer again. She never knew about any of it: the folders, the paperwork, the conversations with funeral directors about her favorite flowers. Last week, I burned everything. The whole file folder went into our fire pit in the backyard while Ella was at a sleepover. Policy documents, medical forms, even the receipt from Miller & Sons. I watched it all turn to ash and tried not to think about how close we came to needing those plans for real.